I'd like to share with you something very nice in this week's Parshas Pנחas from the Rebbe's father, Rabbi Levi Yitzchok Zatzal. This week's Parshas, the end of the Parshas, we have all the korbanos that were brought on Yom Tov of Sukkos, and the first 7 days were 70 bulls, Purim. The last day, Shmini Atzeres, the 8th, says only Par Echad, 1. It explains in Medrash and more in the Zohar that the first 7 days, which we brought 70 bulls, correspond to the 70 nations of the world. The 8th day, Par Echad, 1 symbolizes the unity of Hashem and his one nation, the Bnei Yisrael. Brings down Rabbi Yitzchok. The Zohar says that this Par Echad 1 shows on the unique, intimate relationship of a Jew and Hashem, symbolizes in the Pasuk what happened with Yosef HaTzadik. When the brothers came to Yosef, Yosef said, I want everyone to go out of the room, and I only want to be here with my brothers alone. He wanted to have a private, personal, intimate time with his brothers. Brings that Rabbi Levi Yitzchok an interesting thing. Based on what the Zohar said, this is also Shmini Atzeres. Hashem says, now I don't want any other nations here, I only want the Jewish people. Shmini Atzeres is the 22nd day of Tishrei, number 22. This what happened with the brothers and Yosef also happened 22 years after Yosef prophesied his dreams in Parshas Vayeshev. The brothers will bow down to him. When did that happen? When did they meet up together? That happened 22 years later after 22 years later. Symbolizing to the number 22 that the Zohar says, symbolizing Shmini Atzeres, goes on Yosef. Goes a step further, Rabbi Levi Yitzchok, and says a beautiful thing. We have first 7 days and then the 8th day, Shmini Atzeres. He ties it in what it says, explains the Chassidus and Kabbalah, the end of Parshas Vayishlach. It says if there were 7 kings of the children of Edom, of Esau. By all the 7, it doesn't say they had wives. And by all of them, it says Vayomos, they died. The 8th one, symbolizing the Shmini, like Shmini Atzeres. Over there, it says number 1, what was the king's name? Hadar. Hadar is beautiful, from the word Hodor. Hey Dalad Reish, symbolizing to Yosef Shmini Atzeres. Yosef, it says, was a Yefas Toyad. He looked beautiful. The Torah doesn't want to just bring out the physical beauty. There's more, a deeper spiritual beauty that the Torah wants to bring out with Yosef. Yosef is Midas HaYesoid, as it says. Yesoid means the bonding, the connection, the intimate relationship of the Eibishter with the Yidden. Shmini Atzeres is that time of the year, what's called in Chassidus the Klita, when a person absorbs and conceives, he accepts, and it comes into him all the blessings of the Eibishter. And this is also hinted in the fact that this Hadar, this king, the 8th king, the Shmini, he's the only one where it says that he had a wife, Mehitavel, showing on the bond of a male and a female, symbolizing the Shmini Atzeres, the bond of the Eibishter, which is like the Chosen, and the Kala, which is the Bnei Yisrael. That's the time when we absorb and conceive all the blessings that Hashem gives us. That's Atzeres. Goes a step further, says such a beautiful thing, Rabbi Levi Yitzchok, in hinting at this, that if you look in the names of the kings of the 8 kings, by some of them it says their city where they lived. So look, by the first one it says he was evil, Bola ben Boer. It says Din Hova. It says in Zohar, Din Hova is from the Lashon Din Hova. He brings judgment and punishments, showing a sign of cruelty. But the other one it says Vishem Iroi Avis. Avis shows like something crooked, something not straight, also not holy. By this one it says, but by Hador, the 8th one, it says, what was his name of the city? Po'u, Pei Ayin Vov. Pei Ayin Vov adds up to 156. Says Rabbi Yitzchok, 156 is exactly the numerical value of Yosef. Yosef Atzadik. The 156 is symbolizing. This Shmini Atzeres symbolizes Yosef, which he was so beautiful, showing on the king of the eighth king, the Shmini of Hadar. And the eighth symbolizes where Hashem has the intimate time of Bnei Yisrael and the Parachot, symbol, just like Yosef had the intimate time with his brothers. The Shmini Atzeres and Yosef was beautiful, the Yefei Torah. The city is called Po, the Gematria of Yosef. And that's why only by this king, it says also he had a wife, Hashem Ishtamei Tavel. And going a step further, said Rabbi Yitzchok, it's the only king where it doesn't say Vayomes he died. Explains the Chassidus from here. This king, this eighth king, the Shmini Atzeres, shows a sign of Bnei Yisrael and Yidden, where they are eternal. That's why there's no mess over there. It's Chai, just like Yosef was Oid, Yosef B'ni Choi. When you have Midas HaYesod, you have life. It brings procreation. It brings the intimate relationship of the Hashem with the Yidden, and that will be eternal. That's why it doesn't say over there Misa. So the first 7 days goes on the 7 kings. The Shmini Atzeres goes on the 8th king, symbolizing Yosef HaTzadik, the intimate time of the Bnei Yisrael and the Eibishter, where all the Yidden, Midas HaYesod, we receive and get nourished and accept, and it internalizes with us all the blessings from the Eibishter, that a person should have a wonderful year. All the blessings should come into actuality, the true bond and the relationship of the Eibishter and the Yidden, like a husband and a wife. It brings fruits in the world and children in the world to a wonderful good year. That's the whole idea of Shmini Atzeres.